Wait. Get it up, wait.
Violent storms in the south are responsible for at least the deaths of 19 people.
Tornadoes destroyed homes and businesses in parts of Tennessee. CBS 2's Chris Conti is in Nashville with more on the devastation.
Powerful storms and tornadoes left behind miles of damage and destruction across central Tennessee.
We've been through lots of tornado warnings and never thought that this would happen.
Oh my God!
One twister tore through downtown Nashville overnight in an area recently transformed in a building boom. Roofs are now ripped off dozens of buildings, including the popular concert venue Basement East. The venue had just held a rally for presidential candidate Bernie Sanders.
I was here as a part of a rally, an election rally, so all the people that I know are fine.
Crushed vehicles fill roads here, including this man's car that was smashed by a falling sign. At least one airport suffered heavy damage. Here in downtown Nashville, the damage is severe. Walls were torn off of the side of homes, and entire businesses collapsed under the sheer power of the winds last night as crews are now trying to begin cleaning up.
Government can do a lot of things initially to get things started, but there's a lot of hope and rebuilding that needs to happen here, and already we see members of the community coming out saying what can they do to help.
The severe weather also uprooted power lines, leaving tens of thousands of people without electricity. Election officials say they're assessing Super Tuesday polling stations in the area that may have been significantly damaged by the storms.
This is a massive dust storm that we're just about to get hit with. It's huge.
It was a day when it seemed like our red centre was on the move. A massive dust storm barrelling across the state. Dubbo and Parkes, just two regional centres, swamped by a wave hundreds of metres high.
Punished by the drought, now sandblasted by a dust storm. A drone captured these stunning images as the dust storm swallowed Parkes in the state's central west. Jaw-dropping from the air. On the ground, not the end of the world, but it sure looked like it.
That's going to smash us.
Breathtaking at normal speed, frightening at double time. As it rolled over the bush at Forbes, choking the air, blanketing the town in an eerie twilight. Another sped-up view captured by a local in Parkes. And this time, it looked like a bomb had gone off.
I feel like we're in an episode of Twister.
The slow-moving wall stretched more than 300 kilometres. Forbes in the south, through Parkes, Dubbo and to Nyngan in the north. In Dubbo, the sight was enough to scare the wits out of a flock of birds. The main highway into Nyngan, looking more like a road trip to Mars. The driver wisely pulling over, while another pushed their luck, disappearing into a dark red void.
It just went from like day to night in a matter of minutes, and when I was driving home I couldn't see like 5 metres in front of me.
The dust storm was created by strong winds, dry soil, an unstable atmosphere with low moisture. A major thunderstorm created the powerful gusts. At 7:42 last night, winds were recorded at 107 kilometres per hour at Dubbo. The moment the dust storm passed over Tottenham, south of Nyngan.
It's part and parcel with this record drought we've got at the moment. The soil is so dry, it's now gone from being just hard, it's now powdery.
A day to remember when it looked as if Uluru had moved to the state's central west.
A major dust storm swept over Mildura in northwestern Victoria late yesterday with a huge red cloud descending on the town. It was fuelled by strong winds in a weather phenomenon normally seen in summer. Benny Roddy is the editor of the Mildura Weekly newspaper and says it's one of the most impressive dust storms seen in the region in decades.
It was very eerie for a little while there, so probably swept through around about 4:45 yesterday evening, so a lot of people are probably on their way out from work heading home. day turned to night quite quickly. It was very ominous watching the dust cloud come over there for a good sort of 10-15 minute build up, and then when it hit it hit quite hard. So it was very, very eerie, and certainly been the talk of the town here in Mildura since it hit last night. Visually, you could definitely see it coming for a good sort of half an hour leading up, but in terms of any weather warnings from the Bureau of Meteorology, it took them by surprise. Look, for those who probably aren't familiar with the Mildura area, we border a large section of the Mallee, which is obviously dryland farming and dryland acreage there. So when you're in drought conditions and dry conditions like we are now, all it takes is a significant gust of wind like we had yesterday to throw up a pretty decent dust cloud, or dust storm like the one we had. So not immune to them, but certainly one of the more impressive ones that we've seen here for a number of decades. We've experienced these types of dust storms before, probably not to that extent where it's gone so dark so quick, but yeah, it was quite quick and over pretty much before you knew it. Still quite dirty and filthy around town. Houses obviously were quick to shut up windows, and everything's still quite dusty and a lot of red loam lying around. It rained for a little bit while the dust cloud was, the dust storm was settling over Mildura. So for a while there, it appeared like it was raining mud. So a lot of cleaning up will be happening. Thankfully, it doesn't seem like a lot of damage has been caused. Doesn't seem like it's caused too many accidents. Did ground some planes at the airport for a little while last night, but other than that, just a very quick 10-minute freak storm, and most of the population seem to have got through unscathed. Locally, we're probably heavily into our grape production, so a lot of those varieties would have been off the vine and pick. Our broad acreage guys are probably been a little bit behind in terms of where they're at. So no, we're not anticipating it would have done too much damage.